Hi guys, and welcome to Mr Brady's Year 3-4 quiz. I've decided that with it being a Friday, I'll do a quiz for you guys that you can do at home. It's a Year 3-4 quiz, sort of based on the learning of this year, but everyone can take part. I think in 5, 6, 1, 2, reception, nursery, up to you. About half the questions are in terms of learning they've done this year, half are about things like film, TV, sport, music, things like that. So everyone can take part. 3, 4 might find it a bit easier, okay, because it's based on the learning they've done this year. Before we make a start, I just want to say a big thank you and well done to all of you for everything you're doing right now. It's a tough, confusing time. 5 weeks since school has been shut, and a lot of us are still not sure what life's going to be like next week or in a month's time, and we're probably getting upset and angry and confused, all of which are perfectly normal. But I want to say well done for everything you're doing. I'm so proud of us for staying at home, staying safe, and staying healthy. And I cannot wait for the moment we can all come back to school and I can see all you guys again and find out what you've been doing. But well done to you guys. Okay, we've got a 15 question quiz. I'd recommend you get some paper and a pen or pencil. Okay, you might want to use the back of your red or blue book if you want to. So if you need to pause the video now to go and get your stuff, go and get it, and then come right back. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into our questions. I'm not going to give much time between each question because once I've read it, if you need some time, you can pause the video and have a think before we move on. Okay, so feel free to pause as much as you need to. So, question 1. Who was the first explorer to reach the South Pole? Was it Robert Falcon Scott or Roald Amundsen? So he was the first person to reach the South Pole, Robert Falcon Scott or Roald Amundsen. Question 2. In the Harry Potter films, who is the best friend of Harry Potter and Hermione Granger? So in their sort of little gang, there's Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, who's the third person in that gang? Question 3. How many faces does a cube have? Think about our 3D shapes, or what's a face? How many faces does a cube have? Question 4. The number 1 song released this year by The Weeknd, top of the charts, is called Blindin' What? So, song released by The Weeknd this year that made it number 1 in the charts is called Blindin' What? Question 5. What secondary colour can be made by combining red and yellow? What secondary colour can you make by combining red and yellow? Question 6. Frozen 2 was released late last year. What is the name of the main character who has magical icy powers? Frozen 2 was released late last year. What is the name of the main character who has magical icy powers? Question 7. Listen to this sentence carefully. The giant cat hid under the small table. Which word in that sentence is the preposition? The giant cat hid under the small table. Which word's the preposition? Question 8. Last year, England won a World Cup in July. Which sport did they win a World Cup in? As a clue, it is my favourite sport. If you know that, you know the answer. Last year, England won a World Cup in July. Which sport did they win the World Cup in? Question 9. In ancient Egypt, what is the name of the oval that goes around hieroglyphics? In ancient Egypt, what is the name of the oval that goes around hieroglyphics? So remember sort of the oval shape and the hieroglyphics going down. What do we call that oval shape? Question 10. In the Ice Palace, what is the name of the evil character who had been abducting children from the village? So in our book, The Ice Palace, what is the name of the evil character who had been abducting children from the village? Remember, it's a person's name, so I want a capital letter, please. Question 11. Spell the words differently. Spell the words differently. So you might have one way of doing things, or someone might do it differently. You might do it another way. Spell the word differently. Question 12. When Ernest Shackleton set out on his expedition to reach the South Pole, what was the name of his ship? So Ernest Shackleton set out on his expedition to reach the South Pole. What was the name of his ship? As a clue, it was the something. The something. Again, it's the name of a ship. It's a capital letter. Question 13, 3 more to go. Question 13, 349 plus 88. What's the answer to that? 349 plus 88. Think about your column addition. There will be some carrying involved. Question 14. What is the name of the book in which Joe tries to save the tree that his Granny Diamond is particularly fond of? What is the name of the book in which Joe tries to save the tree that his Granny Diamond is particularly fond of? Again, a book that we have read in class this year. The fact Joe's trying to save a tree might be a bit of a clue. And last question, question 15. Do polar bears live near the North Pole or the South Pole? It's only one of them. Do polar bears live near the North Pole or the South Pole? Alright, so there's all 15 questions. Gone through quite quickly, I know, but as I say, if you need to pause at any point, you can do. If you want to go back now, have a look at any questions, make sure you're happy, please do. Particularly number 11, spell the word differently, and have a little check of your spelling for that one. Alright, so if you need to pause now and look back, go right ahead. If not, I'm going to do the answers now. So again, if you're not happy, check back before carrying on. Alright, so let's go through the answers. Question 1. Who was the first explorer to reach the South Pole? That was Roald Amundsen. If you remember, Amundsen got there first, then a bit later, Robert Falcon Scott got there and saw the Norwegian flag. Alright, so Roald Amundsen got there first. In the Harry Potter films, who is the best friend of Harry Potter and Hermione Granger? That is, of course, Ron Weasley or Ronald Weasley. Either of those is fine. Question 3. How many faces does a cube have? A cube has 6 faces. You remember, a face is sort of the flat surface of an object. So a cube has 6. If you can't remember that, I'm going to quickly look up in a second what a cube looks like and you'll see what I mean. That's 6 faces. Question 4. The number 1 song released this year by The Weeknd is titled Blinding Lights. Okay, so lights is the answer, Blinding Lights. You might have seen the big dance challenge going around on YouTube or TikTok. Could be something to try at home, keep you active, something to go. So Blinding Lights by The Weeknd is the song. What secondary colour can you make by combining red and yellow? You can make orange. So when we're back at school, no one's going to say to you, Mr Brady, I haven't got orange. Well, you got red, you got yellow. Put them together. Boom, done. Question 6. Frozen 2 was released in cinemas late last year. What was the name of the main character who has magical icy powers? That was, of course, Elsa. Now, I haven't seen Frozen 2. I haven't even seen Frozen 1. So if you guys want to maybe let me know what you think of the 2 films, whether they're worth watching or not, I'd be very grateful. Question 7. The giant cat hid under the small table. The preposition is under. Because remember, a preposition tells you where something is. Where's the giant cat? Under the table. Other prepositions might be over, next to, beneath, in front of, behind. Tells you where it is. So under is the preposition. Question 8. I hope we all got this one right. Question 8. Last year, England won a World Cup in July. Which sport did they win the World Cup in? That is, of course, cricket. Okay, England beating New Zealand in the final to win the Cricket World Cup. Question 9. In ancient Egypt, what is the name of the oval that goes around hieroglyphics? That is a cartouche. So the oval that goes around the hieroglyphics go down, whereas our writer is across there when it goes down. It's a cartouche that goes around it. And I'll be interested who can remember why they had a cartouche. There was a reason for it. Someone's have a think about. Question 10. In the Ice Palace, What is the name of the evil character who had been abducting children from the village? That is Starjik. The spelling for that is Starjik. Didn't have to spell it correctly. Make sure I say your capital letter to person's name for Starjik. Question 11. Spell the word differently. The correct spelling is Differently. So that is Differently. Question 12. When Ernest Shackleton set out on his expedition to reach the South Pole, what was the name of his ship? The ship was called the Endurance. The Endurance. And again, the name of a ship, capital letter for Endurance, please. Question 13. What is 349 plus 88? Hopefully we saw we've got to carry a couple of times. And we get the answer 437. That's 437. Question 14. What is the name of the book in which Joe tries to save the tree that his Granny Diamond is particularly fond of? That is, of course, the owl tree. Okay, so Joe trying to save a tree. It's a big clue there. It's the owl tree. And the last question, do polar bears live near the North Pole or the South Pole? Polar bears live near the North Pole. Okay, polar bears at the North Pole, whereas there's penguins at the South Pole. So if you see a film or read a story and someone goes to the Antarctic and there's a polar bear and a penguin there, we just say, no, that can't possibly be right. Polar bears North Pole and penguins are South Pole. So North Pole was the answer for that one. All right, so 15 questions, see how you did. If you want to, please let your teacher know how you did. From my point of view, it'd be great to hear how many you got. And also maybe let me know if you didn't get them all right, which questions you got wrong. It might be that, I need to check my 3D shapes. I need to check prepositions. I need to check my spelling. All right, so let me know how you did. My plan is every Friday to bring out a quiz, and not just a 3-4 one. I'll try and do quizzes for other phases as well, but I'll try and do a weekly quiz. And I think it's good to have this interaction. I can do a video, something you guys can see, and we can sort of have a weekly checkup of how we're all doing. So that is our quiz for this week. Again, let me know how you did, or let your other teachers know how they did. Before I go, I want to say again how very proud I am of you guys, and I'm impressed for everything you are doing. It's clear from the emails you guys are working hard at home. Again, I want to reinforce the work's not there to stress you. It's not there to really make you panic. Okay, it's just some activities you can be getting on with. But the most important thing is that you guys are staying safe and healthy at home. And I'm hoping something like this quiz is a nice thing at the end of the week that you might enjoy. You might want to do it with your parents, do it on your own. Okay, but just a little something extra we can do. But again, so proud of everything you're doing. And I cannot wait for us to get back to school and we can find out what you've been getting up to and hopefully get back to normal. All right? But well done, guys. Let me know how you did. Please stay safe and healthy at home and keep on doing the amazing things that you are doing. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.